All right, I'm continuing on with Alice A. Bailey with the fourth ray, which is the first of the rays of attribute. We went over the first three rays and the tarot card correspondences. In a similar way, I'm going to do the fourth ray alone in this video and then continue on with the fifth and the sixth. Also, there's a couple of diagrams in this chapter, which, not diagrams, but lists that illustrate or refer more to all seven rays rather than just the fourth. So I'm going to do a separate video to connect to this one, even though it's in sequence, it would be part of this section, but since it covers all the rays, it's not just pertaining to the fourth. I'll kind of cut it out and just kind of stick right to the fourth ray on this one. So I'll go ahead and start reading where we left off in the last video. One of the foundational septennate of rays embodies in itself the principle of harmony. Septennate of the seven rays. So one of the seven rays embodies in itself the principle of harmony. The fourth ray is the embodiment of harmony. Those who represent this fourth ray and the divine attributes of this are expressing harmony and what it is to be harmonious, that principle. And this fourth ray of harmony gives to all forms that which produces beauty and works towards the harmonizing of all effects emanating from the world of causes, which is the world of the three major rays. So not only is it harmony in the way that we think of it in terms of like just getting along or just being passive and peaceful, harmony in terms of harmonizing, bringing together a blend of and a perfect execution of what came from all causes. So the world of the three major rays, or second and third ray, are the world of causes. And the fourth ray is the first emanation of the minor rays. I'll just read a bit more. I have something stuck up my lip. Sorry. That's not what the camera's for. All right, let's start again from the beginning really quick. One of the foundational septennate of rays embodies in itself the principle of harmony. And this fourth ray of harmony gives to all forms, and we are forms, it gives to all of us that which produces beauty and works towards the harmonizing of all effects emanating from the world of causes, which is the world of the three major rays. Those three major rays are the cause of everything in existence. They are the cause of all of us. We are forms, and we represent the effect of that. And on the fourth ray, we endeavor to embody the harmony of all of those causes. How can we be an exact expression of the first three rays, the divine? The ray of beauty, of art, and harmony is the producer of the quality of organization through form. It is in the last analysis the ray of mathematical exactitude and is not the ray of the artist, as so many may seem to think. The artist is found on all rays, just as the engineer or the physician, the homemaker or the musician. I want to make this clear, for there is much misunderstanding on this matter. So again, it's the ray of beauty and perfection and all of these things, and art seeming, because we think of art when we think of beauty, we think of artists and music and everything, but no particular means of employment, as you could say, or career is on a specific ray where it would be, oh, you're an artist, so you have to be fourth ray, because you can express art in any of the seven divine ways. You can express your art through your will or showing very powerful art. You could paint very powerful first ray things, showing how things that are destroyed create art of things that have been destroyed. People take photographs of disasters that have happened or war zones, just to kind of express that sentiment to you that shows what that destruction, the aftermath of it, so that we can feel, it can bring forth a resonance of a feeling that we can learn from. Each of the rays is to teach us an aspect of divinity and the expression of all the things that can be in existence. So the fourth ray is more about being an exact, like a mathematically exact, precise expression of the first three rays of causation. So that's why it's, the engineer can also be there, but an engineer can also be on the second ray, or on any of them, just like it's saying, is basically it's not so much about the position that the title that you take on, but more of the way that you express the divine qualities. Each of the great rays has a form of teaching truth to humanity, which is its unique contribution, and in this way develops man by a system or technique which is qualified by the ray quality and is therefore specific and unique. That is why we exist in all our differences. I'm going to pull up this chart real quick, because we can be so different in all of our expressions, because you mix up your birth chart, you mix up your personality, your upbringing, the nature, nurture, your birth chart, all of these things. Start with that, and then you express whatever you're here to express based on your ray, and then it just gets so very exact and specific, and that's why we're all so unique. And then it goes on to express the higher and lower expressions of each of these rays, because like you can see here on that chart, there's negative qualities and the qualities to develop in each one. So really quickly while we're here, I'll go ahead and read from this chart. It's interesting that the color is yellow, like representing of the solar plexus chakra, but it's really the ajna center here is the correspondence of the fourth ray. It's the ray of beautifying harmony and overcoming conflict, the vehicle of all pranic activity, the vitalizer of life, the mirror reflecting the divine into manifestation, the painting of fields of beauty and peace, mathematical exactitude, sympathy, generosity, harmonizes fields of endeavor, intuitive capacity. And I'll get into some of these negative qualities and the qualities to develop when I show the tarot correspondence real quick in just a second. The fourth ray is essentially the refiner, the producer of perfection within the form, and the prime manipulator of the energies of God in such a way that the temple of the Lord, our body temple, is indeed known in its true nature as that which houses the light. Our bodies house the light, the spirit that animates us, and so too does the fourth ray want us to express that. We house a divine light and nature, and when we express that in our most perfect and exact way, we are beautiful. And when we thwart that and pervert it, even when you can see some of the kind of people who do some stuff that's like in the mainstream, they're pretty dark, you can kind of see it oozing through, like it reveals in their skin. Your deeds come to the surface in what you're housing in your body, your temple. So thus the Shekinah will shine forth within the secret place of the temple in its full glory. And the Shekinah is a Jewish and Christian theology term for, I think it's the divine expression, or the divine fullness, the divine essence, the essence of God. And so that's saying that will shine forth from the secret place of the temple in its full glory. And this is the work of the seven builders, or planets. This ray is expressive primarily on the first, the formless planes, the formless plane of intuition, counting from below upwards, and its true purpose cannot emerge until the soul is awakened and consciousness is adequately recording the known. The planes or manifested spheres of expression are influenced in manifestation in numerical order. And then again, it goes into covering all seven rays, and I'll just kind of pull up, I think I had it in a different thing here. Let's see if this is still showing. Yeah, let me get my face out of the way. So right here, the first ray is on the plane of divinity. So it goes from the unseen realms right down to the physical plane. So the first ray, like I said, the first three rays, Father, Son, Mother, creates that Trinity that's the origin of all created things, and then it's birthed into form, and then it breaks down into these other four of the septonate of the seven. So then you have fourth ray, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And as you move and step down, or not down, out, radiate out, because these are the manifested spheres of expression and are influenced how we manifest in order. So first, it's a divine idea. It has to be embodied by the energy of the monad. Like I said, the Christed one, this is Christ consciousness, love, wisdom. Christ was considered Ray's second ray. So the plane of the monad is that one who has embodied all 12 of the zodiac. And then mix that with the spirit of mother, which is the energy, the life force that animates and mixes, blends with the will of the Father, the divine, to birth into form, that Christed one, that can be that physical embodiment of love. And then from this, it also reflects out in these other rays. Harmony, again, is what we're talking about now, the plane of intuition. So this is the unseen, the intuitive realm. And furthermore, fifth ray, mental plane, astral plane, and then finally our physical plane. But anyways, tarot. How do we see this in tarot? Let's go back to this. And one more thing. This thing is grinding my gears today. Okay, so here we are. So the negative qualities of fourth ray types are self-centeredness, inner conflict, psychicism. That's interesting because I think here it's not talking about the act of being psychic, because that's not a negative thing, right? This is talking about when our focus on what we gain from the intuitive, the unseen realm, from the plane of intuition, when we take that as something of our own and we take that to boast and think that we're bigger or better, or the source of that original idea. When intuition, just like what we gain from the astral plane through our emotions that get us riled up, the intuitive plane is where we get our ideas, right? The things that make us, it could make you that instant millionaire or whatever. And so when we become self-centered, or like I was saying about psychicism, it's not about the fact of being psychic is wrong, or like it says later, being an artist or musician. It's not that in itself is wrong, but it's the pride or the arrogance of it to say like, oh, look at me, like how they used to do in Alice Bailey times, where they questioned psychics were supposed to be, you bring them into the room and they are supposed to do a seance, and they're supposed to make the table shake, and there was this whole theatrical thing, and they're like, oh, let me call upon the spirit, and all this crazy stuff, and it was just this flashy, making a circus out of it. And they're saying, no, this is an actual thing. It's a divine thing. It's not some kind of showy thing. When you close your eyes and you listen and you ask for guidance and you hear a voice, your thoughts, and you get those nudges, those divine hunches, ideas, all of those things come from intuition, the intuitive plane. The Ajna center, so that's the third eye, the connection to the divine. It's a direct channel to divine, intuitive information. And so that's very similar to the high priestess. Of course, high priestess and tarot, here's two representations from the cosmic tarot over here, and then the field tarot over there. Some of the symbolism, she's always sitting upon her throne. Typically, again, this is not the original tarot, so this one just shows in the cosmic tarot. It shows her with the secret, the book of secrets. She has all this wisdom. Her mouth is closed. She keeps those secrets because she protects them. She is the guardian of them. She has the wisdom. This is the symbols of, I believe, the Alpha and Omega, the secrets of the beginning and the end, all of this stuff. But here she sits upon her throne, and again, she's just not speaking. She's not boasting with that information. She's not coming out to be like some town charlatan and trying to trick everyone and con them out of their money. How much can you pay me for this seminar or this webinar where I'm going to teach you everything that I know? But not really, right? It's about understanding that you are not the original source. You are the receiver, the conduit, and the vehicle of this divine information. It's prana. It's pranic activity. It can come and be intercepted by anyone, but as we attune and align ourselves, you become more receptive of that, and you get those things. There are some people that are practice the dark art that use different other ways to, and sexual energy and all this stuff to charge up and force that, and they'll receive hunches too, and surely they have ideas and whatnot, but they express these negative qualities and whatnot, and so we're seeing their undoing, or we will soon enough. So the next thing that I see from this is similarity with the chariot cards. The chariot is usually represented with the two horses pulling a man on a cart, chariot, and they're black and white for a reason, similar to in the High Priestess card in the original deck, she stands or sits between two pillars, black and white pillars, very occult, just representing the both sides. The duality in its nature. So people used to think it's the dark and the light, evil, good and evil, but it's not. It's all things. That's like her book of secrets. It's all things encompassed in here. We come through this wisdom. You have the channel, the ability to receive information of the divine. How you use it is there, and it's up to you how you're going to express that in your form nature. The Ray 4 would express the beautifying harmony of it, but we can see people goes both ways. But the Chariot card in tarot also represents movement, so it's action forward. So it's interesting that this is the vehicle of all pranic activity, because it is when we begin to move and we act upon that divine intuition and that information, and then we become more confident, right? Because you're fueled by a knowing that you just have a hunch, I just have a feeling that this idea is going to work. And so I put this into play and I figure out, and that becomes my purpose, right? And you're just driven by this force. That's the energy of this ray. And your expression of it, your fourth ray purpose, is to represent the divine exactness of how when you walk in step with a divine idea and you're intuitive and you're following that intuition and that guidance. If you're a musician and you're just kind of feeling the flow of the words that are coming together, or the chords that you're put together in a harmony and in a harmonizing music, and it's almost with mathematic accuracy. This even comes into play with like builders of architecture, right? And you put those plans and they make these beautiful, elaborate buildings and different things like you think of in Europe and France, and all these great, like the Michelangelo, I think it was, whoever it was, Da Vinci, I don't know too much about that. I need to go. He's going to date me. But you get the beautiful architecture of the precise measurements that it takes to create these structures that stand, like the Eiffel Tower and things like that, and they're just works of art, but it's just because of such precise adherence to a direct plan, an order that was intuited first in an unseen idea, a thought impulse. More on these, I'm looking right here at the negative aspects. So it would behoove us, if we are on the fourth ray type and we have some of these negative qualities, we need to develop some of these other qualities over here of serenity, confidence, self-control, purity of heart, unselfishness, accuracy, mental and moral balance. And this made me think of two cards in tarot, temperance and strength. So the temperance card, that's all about that serenity, right? Confidence. She is similar to Justice. She's got the two cups in her hand and she's balancing things out. This is a very divine card. It represents the energy of a higher, like an angelic being, balancing things out. She's got, in the traditional tarot, as she stands, she usually has 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. So that's like that energy of being grounded in the earth, the earthly realm, but also having your foot in the waters, the emotions, knowing how to balance out practicality, logic, wisdom, all those things, thinking with the etheric, the spiritual, the emotional planes, the seen with the unseen, and making something beautiful of it. She's balancing these cups, putting water into both cups until they're just right. And she has the illumination of the sun behind her. Usually there's also a depiction of the large angel guiding those steps, because this is, again, of the higher mind. And in this one, she's still topless, so she's bare, she's pure, and she's just sitting there, and she's trying to find that sweet spot to find the balance and harmony. Harmony is what we're looking at, fourth ray. So I think that's a good expression of, once you receive that intuition, we remain humble and understanding. How do I balance this out to make the most perfect, exact manifestation and expression of the divine will that's choosing to speak through me, that's choosing to show this art, that's choosing to build this building, all right? I'm not going to build it with a little defect so that it goes kaput and breaks down, like an iPhone is built to break down in a few years. That's not necessarily being the positive expression of divinity, right? Fourth ray. That's being a negative quality, an aspect of self-centeredness. I want more money, so I'm going to build this thing to break down. I'm not going to make it so that it lasts for years and years. Versus these buildings, these beautiful architectures that are mathematically exact, still standing right after all this time. Like Roman buildings, and there's ruins and stuff, there's still parts of it up. So they were engineered with some very amazing ideas, like all the wonders of the world. You have the Stonehenge and the pyramids and all these things that were built way back. So how did they know to design it with that way? They follow their intuition. And when they use that guidance to know that however it will play out will be exact and will be perfect, then they gain this confidence and that self-control so that you don't try to take advantage or to become self-centered or be like that psychic person that's trying to just be flashy and show out and act like it's unique to you in some way. You're just the vessel, right? So it's just ridding ourselves of that selfishness, that selfish kind of way that muddies it, and it creates discord and disharmony and conflict. This is about overcoming conflict. And then we become pure. Through that self-control, there's purity of heart, unselfishness, accuracy, mental and moral balance. Again, the balance part made me think of our temperance lady. And then finally is the strength card in tarot, where we usually see a woman that she's taming this lion. Lions are known to be very powerful animals. In the cosmic tarot, we still have a similar version of that. We have the woman, and she's guarding herself. She's being sheepish, I guess you would say, but she's confident, but she's holding up the shirt of the lion. So she shows that in front of her, and she's got her illumination showing with her headdress and all of this. She's showing strength. She's showing courage. She's out there in the wilderness, but she's naked, but she's like, I have something to guard me. And not only do I have something to guard me, it's going to be with a lion's protection. It's aware. It's fully alert. How that gaze is locked on forward. It's going to see whatever is coming. That's how she's looking forward. She's going to see whatever is coming because she is following her intuition. She has tempered herself. She has self-control. She is pure of heart. She's not out there just trying to be seen for, hey, look what I created. Look what I'm, this big person, important person. She has self-control. She has strength. She has tamed her inner beast. And similar to this woman, she's contemplating. She's got her beautiful headdress on. She is in the realms of the air where she is intuiting through her Ajna center. She's contemplating. She's receiving. She's receptive. She understands that she's being gifted something. We are gifted through our intuition. All right, really quick, I'm going to close up by reading the book from the field. Each tarot book usually has, tarot deck usually has kind of a book that goes over its version of the meanings, but it kind of gives some background to help with how we're trying to understand our fourth ray by connecting it with these. Starting with the High Priestess, which we covered first. The High Priestess is the inner voice of sacred knowledge. She represents enlightenment and inner truth. The world is not always as it seems, so listen for her. Channel the divine to illuminate the answers within yourself. Feel rather than think. The keywords are intuition, higher power, all-knowing, subconscious mind, and divine wisdom. I guess I should show the field card because I'm reading from that deck. Moving on to, let's read real quick, the Chariot. The Chariot card. Remember, this is that black and white, the horses showing movement, moving forward. We've got that idea. We've tamed ourselves. We listened long enough to get the full message, and then we're ready to go. We take action. We move forward. The Chariot card represents movement forward, and we are balanced. We're being pulled by the balanced, unified force of knowing that we could use this for good. We could use this for evil. We could use this for self-gratification. We could use this to help everyone. And then we got to balance those energies out, right? I'm not going to surrender myself to everyone else, but I'm not going to trample everyone else for the sake of myself. So once we balance that energy out, we can receive the full and true divine message through our intuition. And as our fourth ray types are here to express, we go ahead and we do that with mathematic accuracy. And the Chariot means that victory is within reach. With enough hard work and determination to move forward, overcoming conflict is possible. And just like it says there in the fourth ray, yellow, it shows that the fourth ray is the ray of overcoming conflict. Set intentions, stick to the plan, and channel your inner strength. It talks about strength to conquer the challenges ahead. Keywords are a journey, commitment, goals, discipline, achievement, and ambition. Last two, going on to strength. Let's see our lady here. We just saw her a second ago. Strength is the immense strength of our inner spirit. This is all again about that intuition. These cards represent just like how this ray is about intuition. It's the inner spirit has the ability to overcome even the most intimidating obstacles. Channel this fierce resilience and let its empowering energy lead the way. You can accomplish so much more than you know. Keywords are confidence, power, inner strength, courage, stamina, and fearlessness, just like what we see when we develop those qualities of the fourth ray that really help us embody this ray and serve upon it if that's our ray of influence. We each have traits of all of the rays in us, but some of us are heavier on specific rays. So this book is teaching us about the rays, and then we can figure out which one we are most heavily on. And finally, temperance. This is the positive expression again of the fourth ray. She represents balance. Temperance serves as a reminder to stay peaceful and grounded through times of high stress or anxiety. Now is not a time for confrontation, strong opinions, or extremes. Remain calm and stay neutral while the moving parts align. The moving parts will align. God is in control. Keywords: equilibrium, moderation, patience, harmony, and finding purpose. All right, I'm closing in on 30 minutes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this here. And I'll pick up in the next video with the fifth ray. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.